Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video. And in today's video, you see the title, we are going to be talking about artists and consumers and just the conversation or topic of reinvention, the need to reinvent. Is it a thing or not? Okay. So if you're interested in that, pop, female rap, conspiracy theories, music, talk in general, I unpopular opinions, anything I really feel like speaking about for real, then you should go on ahead and subscribe. Also, I just wanted to state this is more of a rant style video. Most of my videos are like that. It's just me kind of talking and giving my opinions, thoughts, comments, and personal perspective on something. More almost like conversational style of video. So if you're interested in that, then continue listening. So I've noticed, just as someone who is a consumer of music and somebody who just analyzes and follows artists' careers in general, that from the public there does seem to be a constant need for artists to reinvent. And it's really in every aspect of their artistry. At least that is how I've perceived it. And this is whether it is their sound, whether it's their look, their aesthetic, just everything about the artist. After we've gotten a certain amount of something from that artist that we're used to for, a couple of years, it does seem to come up in conversation that something about that artist needs to change. And it seems like it needs to change for a lot of people in order for them to remain relevant or interesting for the most part. And I just wanted to talk about it in terms of like, is that a thing that needs to be the case for a lot of people? Is this something that's like artists constantly need to reinvent in order to stay ahead of the curve and like basically show their complex artistry and show that they're diverse and show that they're different? Or is this something that is very nitpicky and is not necessarily needed to continue enjoying that artist? Constantly among artists, we do see conversations floating around like, oh my gosh, this person needs to change up the beats. They're using the same kind of beats. Or, oh my gosh, they make the same song 500 times. Or, oh my gosh, they have that same hair color. Why do they keep wearing that same hairstyle? They need a new hairstyle. Oh my gosh, those outfits, they need to change up those outfits. They're always the same. They need a new look. They need a stylist. They need this. They need that. It's a constant breakdown of either their physical image and aesthetic or their sound or both. A lot of the time, it's both. Most recently, we've heard this about artists like Ice Spice. Like, for example, Ice Spice is kind of stagnant in her artistry at this time to most people. She has the same hairstyle. She wears a lot of the similar looks that people see. She makes similar music videos outside in the hoods of either the Bronx or Miami. She makes the same sounding beats. We hear the same beats from her. Her flow doesn't change. So it gets monotonous to people. And so that they have their, criticisms around Ice Spice. They're like, she needs to change this, she needs to change that, she needs to change this. The question is that necessary? Do we really need to change this artist? Or is it good for the artist to remain how they are and the people who rock with them rock with them?
Someone please explain to me why Ice Spice, like all of her songs, sound the exact same. Like, girl, switch it up, bro. Like, it's the same. Like, I know like drill is popular, but like, at least we got Drake, who's like actually like switches up the beat and like sounds different. In every song, you sound the exact same. It's boring.
Also, with pop artists, this happens a lot too. We've heard this about Dua Lipa, and even just recently, people were like, "Oh my gosh, Dua Lipa is making the same song over and over again." Because we know that Dua Lipa is known for like her funk, disco, pop inspired sounds, and Dua Lipa has been on that for a while now. But it's been working for her, so it's like one of those things: if it's not broke, don't fix it type of philosophy, right? But a lot of people are starting to get tired of it. I've seen a few people saying, even with her most recent album that she just put out, that people were like, oh my gosh, this still has some disco funk in it. I was hoping to get a completely different sound from her. Also, Dua Lipa changed her hair, and people were like, "Oh wow, so she changed her hair, so that's a reinvention. So that means we're gonna get a new sound." So it's a whole conversation. So I found this TikTok. I could not play the video because the song in it is really long and it's gonna get copyrighted if I play the audio. But it says, "I swear Dua Lipa has been making the same song for the last 4 years straight," and then they're jamming out to the music. Me personally, with the reinvention conversation for artists, I think there are multiple ways you can look at it. I think there are definitely nuances to the conversation. I think that it's important for artists to reinvent. When we think about the most iconic artists that there are in history, a lot of them have reinvented. So, like Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Evolution, like Ariana Grande, she's evolved a lot in her career. Katy Perry has gone through her different phases of evolution and reinvention. Nicki Minaj, she has gone from one way to the next way to the next way. A lot of our favorite artists that are held to like icon status or held to like a really high esteem never stay the same. So I definitely do think for artistry to develop and for a person to be considered more diverse, to grow as an artist, to develop, to mature, is to evolve. And we never are the same from year to year. Every single year, as humans, as people, we change. So it would make sense that every couple of years that the artist changes and evolves just because their life is different. They have different experiences, they have different feelings, they've gone through different things. So their sounds and aesthetics and all that types of stuff might change as they grow as people. I kind of relate it back personally to me to being a writer because I've been reading and writing since I've popped out, it seems like, as long as I can remember. And I've always liked writing in specific genres, mostly like teen fiction and romance. But as I got older, I started to explore with different genres because I was a little bit nervous, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to write something different. And I wrote some action and adventure stuff, I wrote some fantasy stuff, and I actually really liked how I developed those stories. And so I kind of relate it back to that and think about that as an author or writer. If you're known for a couple of different genres that you do really well in, I think that that's wonderful. But I think it's also great if the artist is able to diversify the types of, things that they write, the types of books that they write, the types of genres and subgenres that they explore. And the more ground you're able to cover and the more types of genres of, books you're able to write, then the more diverse you are and the better of an author that you are, in my opinion. So I kind of liken it to that when it comes to being diverse as an artist in general, whether you're a writer, a singer, a rapper, a painter. You know what I'm saying? Diversity to me is everything. But there is the flip side of this, and that is just like the greedy, needy demandingness of consumerism. While I do think it is important to reinvent yourself as an artist to a degree, there is a part of it that can probably be very overwhelming for artists, especially if they're in a certain bag or a certain pocket and the fans are tired of them and they want them to reinvent, but the artist isn't in that stage of their career yet, or they are not trying to reinvent right now. They're happy with what they're doing, but the fans are tired of whatever it is that they're producing. So there is this demand and push for them to change, and maybe they're not ready to change. Maybe it's, they didn't plan on changing at all. So there is a flip side to that where can it be harmful to the artist? Is it exhausting to them to feel pressure to constantly modify themselves in order to keep up appearances or keep people's attention? Taylor Swift actually talked a bit about this before.
We do exist in this society where women in entertainment are discarded in an elephant graveyard by the time they're 35. Everyone's a shiny new toy for like 2 years. The female artists that I know of have reinvented themselves 20 times more than the male artists. They have to, or else you're out of a job.
So that's a little clip of Taylor kind of speaking about that. She kind of goes into it more. But yeah, it's a whole entire thing. And I do think it can be very overwhelming for artists. And if Taylor Swift, a large artist who also has reinvented herself a million times over, she was country and she's pop, and then she's folk music, and then she, indie ish alternative, she's done so much. And if she's saying this, you know what I'm saying, then other artists are definitely feeling that pressure. So I definitely do think there's a nuance to it. I don't think it's one blanketed answer of this is necessary, it's 100%. I think there's a definitely an in between about it for sure. What do you guys think about artists and reinvention? What is your opinion on it? Where do you fall in the necessary to non necessary scale? I would love to know. And that is it for this one, guys. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.